of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm really proud of everybody. They said the Pledge of Allegiance properly.
Can we get a roll call, please, Cindy?
Blair.
Here.
Candeloro.
Here.
De Palma.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
England.
Here.
Unruh.
Present.
Rumble.
Here. All right, we need to approve the agenda. There is one change. Item C under new business, the years are wrong. It should be 2025 through 2027. And then that was updated on the sheet in front of you as well when we get to the new business item. All right, so with that, we're looking for a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bob.
Somebody.
Okay? Rosalind, you want-
I will second that.
Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Brings us into the reports. We have our treasury report. We have a general ledger report, our designated fund report, the building department reports, the recreation report. John, would you like to say anything?
Couple quick things. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, John.
So I did want to let everyone know, Christmas, we haven't met obviously since Christmas in the village. And it was a great success. We had the lighted parade for those who attended. Lots of positive feedbacks after the fact. People were very enthusiastic about having the night parade. We did learn quite a few things that we're going to change for next year, but sounds like it's something that residents want to keep going with. So we had a lot of fun, a lot of positive, and it was at the end of the day it was all great. Some of the other events didn't have as much turnout because of the change that we made, so we're going to kind of address that in 2025. I know the library's events went really well, and so we did that. And then we got a busy month coming up, or this week actually. We've got the junior NBA that we've partnered with, that we made that announcement in November. That's starting this Saturday. Our Mighty Hawks basketball program is also starting on Saturday over at Oakwood Elementary. And then Ski Club starts on Friday, and we have our parent meeting, our second annual parent meeting in this room Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We did it last year for the first time, and we had a full house, and the parents are really excited that we did that because we went through how Ski Club works, because it is a unique program that we do. So, but it is pretty popular. So it's just an informative meeting to let the parents know the expectations and everything. So, and that'll be on Wednesday. So that's about it. Any other questions?
Thanks, John.
Yep.
All right, and then we have an Edna Burton Senior Center report. I don't see Faye, so we'll move right into the trustees. Scott, you got anything?
Nope.
Steve?
No, sir.
Bob?
No, sir.
Tony?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, that brings us to the treasurer, Dana.
I just wanted to bring no tax collections coming along good this year, and being my first year doing it. But last day for tax payments are February 14th, which is a Friday, and typically our office is only open until noon. But that day, myself and my deputy, Jessica, will be staying until 5 for anybody who needs longer to pay. And then also, that's the final day to pay winter, but then taxes don't go delinquent until March 1st. So the day before that is February 28th, which is also a Friday, and we're typically only open till 12, but Jessica and I will be here again until 5 that day for anybody who can't make it before noon. My subcommittees did not meet. I attended a class on December 17th that talked about treasurer's roles in township government. One thing that the board, we do have an ACH policy. We haven't used it, but I'm going to be updating everything and get that going to where we do some AP payments ACH. We do payroll ACH, but we're going to look at doing some accounts payable paying ACH. And then last but not least, we do have 2025 dog tags available in the treasurer's office.
Thank you. Rosalind?
Happy New Year. Thank you for attending the board meeting for Brandon Township. On December 6th, I helped with the float, decorating the float for the township float. And later that evening, we attended the light parade. I rode with Rumble. I thought it was pretty exciting to see all the people that did turn out for the event. I know you said it was a little bit lower, but I was kind of excited to see all the people that were there. On December 14th, I stopped in at the annual Christmas dinner at the Edna Burton Senior Center. So I just wanted to say thank you to Faye and the Senior Center staff for all their hard work and dedication. Also on December 14th, I did attend a Christmas party with Fuji at Sashabaw Meadows. It was a great experience. Rachel Christie and her volunteers do a fabulous job. The event was very organized. The kids were able to shop around for their families, and I had the pleasure of being able to wrap the gifts for the kids that they picked out for their families. And so it was really heartwarming to see. And Fuji was able to use Brandon Township's community development block grant money to fund the event, so that was really exciting. On December 18th, there was a Parks and Rec subcommittee meeting. We discussed quite a bit, like from concessions, the bathrooms at the park, pavilion, the gazebo rentals, field rentals, baseball fields, undeveloped land off Hadley Road. We did get notified from SMART. They sent an award letter to Brandon Township saying that we have been sub-awarded a vehicle to replace one of the vehicles that we currently have. We applied for this vehicle about almost 2 years ago now, and so the fact that we should be getting it in 8 to 10 months is pretty exciting. Paulka's firm will be submitting the 1099s electronically. Once the clerk's office receives the paper, we will mail the copy to the vendors. And W-2s will be going out this month.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to say thanks, John, and the Parks and Rec Department for helping put on the Christmas in the Village. I know we just do the parade portion of that, but a lot of work goes into that. So I know you guys had meetings almost weekly on that. And it's always fun driving my truck and pulling the township float that we build together to pull through that parade. So that's always nice with Steve and Dana and Roslyn this year walked in the parade or in my truck with me. So that was fun. And then we did receive another statutory revenue check, which we receive basically every quarter. We got about $252,000 approximately this year or this term. And then I just wanted to say, go Lions. Hopefully they make it to the Super Bowl and win. So that's it for me tonight. That moves us right into our correspondence. We do have Parks and Rec Subcommittee meeting minutes, and then no discussion items. And that brings us to citizens' comment. Oh, sorry, I skipped citizens' comment. Citizens' comment on agenda items only. Anybody have any citizen comment on agenda items? Okay, not seeing any. We'll move on. No discussion. Consent agenda, we have regular meeting minutes of December 2nd, special meeting minutes of December 23rd, regular bills in the amount of $56,289.52, prepays in the amount of $429,883.14. So looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Steve. Any additional questions or comments? Seeing none, can we get a roll call, please?
Marshall,
Yes.
Dangland,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Candeloro,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. No unfinished business. That brings us right into our new business. First thing we have is the first reading of the ordinance. And essentially the only thing they did here was to change it to say all residential zoning instead of R1A and R2B is really the only change that was made that I'm seeing
What was
for
the,
single-family
what
residential.
precipitated this?
They're just trying to clarify the language, make it easier to understand. Instead of having all the different zonings, they just want to say all residential zonings. So it'll be inclusive of all of our residential zoning types.
Because I know we had a kind of a kerfuffle a few years back with, what? With the goats, yes, exactly.
No, it didn't have anything to do with that. It's
Nothing
literally
to do
just
with
clarifying language.
It wasn't anything to do with the goats.
No animals were involved in this coming to the
No.
board.
No animals were harmed.
No.
This-
We didn't exclude anything. We didn't, keep anything out. So there's no kerfuffle in this reading.
Correct. Thank you, Steve. All right, would anybody
I
like to
haven't heard
make-
that word in like about since I was 2.
somebody like to make the motion?
For the 2025.
It is. Sorry.
All right, I'll make the motion to introduce for first reading the amendments to section 46-205 and sections 46-282 in the Code of Ordinances for the Charter Township of Brandon, Oakland County, Michigan, as presented.
I'll
Second.
Support.
All right, Steve, I think Steve was there first.
Gotcha.
All right,
He's got a louder voice than me.
maybe it could be. All right, any other questions, comments? All right, can we get a roll call, please?
England,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Andaloro,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. And then that brings us to our second reading of the sign ordinance, which is really here for the third time, but if you remember the first time, we sent it back for a couple changes. So last time was technically the first reading. This is just the second reading with those changes we requested back to the planning commission.
I'll make a motion to adopt for the second reading the revised sign regulations ordinance, Chapter 46, Article 10, Section 46-446, Code of Ordinances for the Charter Township of Brandon, Oakland County, Michigan, as presented.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Rosalind. Additional comments? Okay, Cindy?
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Andaloro,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. All right, that brings us into the 2025-2027 law enforcement agreements. If you did notice, there are 3 agreements there. The first 2 are from Oakland County. The first one is the general police services contract, then their SRO addendum, which is the school resource officer. And the third one is the agreement that would be between us and Brandon Schools directly. So these are essentially the same as they have been in the past years. They just added some stuff for the SRO, which is in here. The schools now have to pay $1 per student on top of the SRO fees that go into some police fund managed by the Board of Commissioners. They just call it a police fund. And then, if you noticed in there, over the next 3 years, our police contract is unfortunately going up 37%. So if we want to maintain services, we'll have to do some things in 26 and 27. We are currently fine for 2025 with 2025 rate, but after that, we may have to make some tough decisions. So I'm looking to approve these as they're written. Just so you know, I've spoken with the police department, Gaia, who handles all that stuff down there, and we can change this agreement at any time. So we're not locked into these 3-year rates. If we want to reduce staff or something like that, we can at any time during this contract.
So is this discussion?
Sure.
So how come we just remove ourselves out of this thing, and why don't we consider starting our own police department for the same price?
Well,
And we got a
have
37% increase, and it seems like we're playing a political party game at the expense of the taxpayers, and this is what I don't like. And so, with that being said, why can't we remove, I mean, the most of Oakland County has their own police department. Why don't we see the foresight and go, what would it take to have her for the advantage of Brandon Township and the village of Ortonville to start our own police department? And every time there's contract coming, we're not waiting on the Board of Commissioners, who's a separate elected officials, that does not really know much. I mean, we have one commissioner here, but really most of the commissioners don't know Brandon Township. We do. We can offer better. I mean, the chief even said, I'm going to drag the chief in this on one part, that we can offer a pension because we're on MERS. And we could actually attract people here. And and as far as the SRO, you can put in, for the price of one SRO, you can put in 3 retired police officers for the price of one SRO into the schools. That is true. That has already been true. That is true. So with that, why are we not, I'm not saying not do it now, but can we not move forward with trying to look into that for the benefit of this and try to remove ourselves completely out of that?
Well, I mean, we can look at anything, but I don't think that the community would support that personally, but, I mean, we can definitely look at it. I mean, we have a millage through 28 that supports this contract.
I understand, but changes have come with a 37% increase.
Right, and according to
That is
the Board of Commissioners,
ridiculous.
that's not even technically for police services. They're
I
saying
know,
incidental
I know.
costs.
That's what I mean. Our taxes for citizens are going for, and $1 per student? At this point, I'm like, you know what,
Right.
come on. Let's just start taking care of our own.
One problem you have on top of that too is even if we did have our own police, we would still have to pay for dispatch on top of that.
I
which is
understand
not
that.
cheap.
I do it, but still, I understand.
You can
But
ask
we
Chief
should,
on that. His went up 13.
I know it's gonna go up. I hear all that, but I just don't wanna roll over.
No,
I don't wanna roll over. I wanna look, I wanna like put it, not just talk about it, but like, is there, I never thought I'd be saying something like, let's just remove ourselves out of this nonsense. Of this, it seems like we're getting strapped into a political party game. And let's think about doing stuff with, because we're gonna eventually have our own police department here, maybe not this year, but
Well, I'll tell
eventually
you,
somewhere.
the main commissioner behind it has his own police department in his township, so he doesn't care.
I understand that. I do understand that. And I'm not, but we're getting shoved into this, and I think we probably have something to offer, and we could probably do that.
I
So,
mean, we can look at that. I have no idea what that costs are.
I
but-
don't know either. Trust me, I don't know either, but is there any way that we could start moving towards that?
We can look into it. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that, to be honest with you, but we can look into it.
Anybody else have any comments like
I
that?
agree with Steve. And what irritates me the most is this pops up right after they vote themselves a pay raise.
Oh, yeah.
That we had no say over. All of a sudden, I feel like the golden goose in their eyes. Let's stick them for some more money.
Right.
Well, and I'll tell you, all 12 of the communities and supervisors and the two mayors all went and talked to them many times, and they didn't care one word what we said.
And so,
Well, we need to find some way to make them care.
right,
Well,
right.
They're outnumbered 13 to like 7, I think. So
Yes.
unfortunately,
And it doesn't look like we're gonna, and if not, we're just gonna keep paying into wherever this money's going. It's not going to who we're paying for the services for.
no, and the actual police department was against these increases.
I know
as
we
well.
are. That's what I mean. I'm not trying to punch, but
No,
like,
I
this
know.
this is ridiculous. So, I mean,
Well, maybe I'll talk to the other
do we get a
supervisors and see
subcommittee
if they're
going?
even-
do we get a subcommittee going to look into it, at least explore it? I mean, is that what we can do?
We don't need to do that yet. Let me talk to some supervisors and I'll talk to Glover and see if it's even feasible.
I'd just like to know the numbers, so, because it
Yeah,
appears
no,
that
I
other
know.
ones have operated on this type of,
I know we
Budget.
did have our own police department at one point, but we went away from it in 2 county. We used to have the Ortonville Police Department.
oh, I
That
did
was a
not know
long,
that.
well, that was a long
It was
time
a
ago.
long time ago, but we did.
Okay.
Well, I just took, the annual costs in 2027 is gonna be 2.99 million, 2.9 million. Almost 3, because you're only like $4,000 away from $3 million. So if you take that by the 14 people that we have as our sheriffs, our deputies, our sergeants, that's 214,000 a person. So I don't mind looking into it.
But
I
then it
figure
comes
we
with all
have-
the cars and stuff too.
That
We
comes
would
with all
also
the
have to buy
cars
cars
and stuff.
and
Yep.
And we'd still have to contract, I'm sure, with the county for certain
for
things.
For
dispatch,
dispatch.
for sure.
Well,
So-
dispatch, what about like forensics, or I'm not in law enforcement, I don't know these things, but there's other services that the county would be
Well,
able to
there's some some
provide
things-
that we couldn't do on a,
There's some things the
Township.
county has to provide, us being in the county,
Okay.
even
Right.
without us having them.
By state law, there are certain things that the counties are obligated to
Correct.
provide.
Correct.
I'd be interested to see what,
I'd be,
if one of our attorneys could do some research as to what exactly those obligations are.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we have to sign this right now, and I understand in 28, our millage goes through 28, this contract goes through 27, so if we start trying to figure out numbers, what it would entail, if it would make more sense to save money but still provide the same amount of service to our residents, where our residents aren't losing any service, I think that's where, like Steve said, a subcommittee, research being done, something. I'm not sure we need to do it in 25, but by 26, that gives you a year before the contract's up, 2 years before the
There you
millage is
go.
up, type of a deal.
That's a good idea. I mean, nothing we need to get done in a week, but let's march towards it.
Just to, and maybe see what the other townships
It
are
doesn't hurt
talking
to have
about doing.
information, but
Right.
Absolutely.
at
Right.
this point in time, I'm not aware of any township talking about going away from that, but it doesn't
Right.
mean that
I
they're
mean,
not having
it
those
doesn't-
discussions internally.
It doesn't hurt to do our due diligence.
No.
Because I knew this was coming, we saw the other stuff, and I'm like, this is enough.
Well, our
This is
contract's been expired since last December. We've been asking for a new contract.
Because the one thing about it, we can offer a pension thing that doesn't offer very much anymore. You could probably get some people to slide over,
Yeah, maybe.
you know? Anyway, I digress.
I mean, we can definitely look into those things, but right now we need to enter this agreement so we have the police service.
Right.
So would somebody like to make this motion?
Are we making the motion on all three of these?
Yeah, all three of them are
at
listed in
once?
there.
Okay. I'll make this motion for the 2025 to 2027 law enforcement service agreements
All right,
as presented.
as presented, okay. I will go ahead and second that.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a motion written here,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's all right.
There's
No
more
worries.
to it.
She said as presented, so that's,
Sorry, I was too busy looking at those. Do you, if I can reread the motion?
Go ahead,
If you need
if
me
you want
to.
to.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the 2025 to 2027 Law Enforcement Services Agreement, SRO amendment, and the SRO contract with Brandon Schools for the Charter Township of Brandon Police Services as presented.
Second. All right, any additional comments? All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Blair,
Yes.
Candeloro,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
No.
Stengland,
Yes.
Unruh,
No,
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. All right, and then that brings us to Dana's resolution.
So this resolution that's in front of you here is a resolution to deposit funds as of 2025. There was a resolution that we started back in 2022 that basically is the same thing, except for it had Scott's name on it. Now, he's not treasurer and I'm treasurer, so I just have the new resolution in front of you, so I can continue to use any of these banks of the choice. And then attached to it is the investment policy that's from December of 2022. That's not changing, but that's just so you can see the policy and the scope and like how we pick the banks and just controls of all that. So if there's any questions, if not, I'm just looking for a motion so I can continue to do the banking of Brandon Township.
can't believe we have to say yes.
Yep, we do.
I know.
All right, I'll make a motion for resolution for deposit of funds 2025 as presented.
Support.
All right, any questions? Cindy?
Candeloro,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Stengland,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. All right, that's the end of our new business. That brings us to citizens' comments on anything, and that's limited to 3 minutes. Jody?
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jody Hall, and I'm also on the Planning Commission and Chair of ZBA. But tonight, I am here as a citizen and also a member of the Brandon Sports Boosters. Last year, I came about this time, and last year we started a annual fundraiser, kind of a night at the horse races, and where it's horse racing, and all proceeds from the event go to the Brandon All Sports Boosters, and then that will go directly to the athletic department. These funds are used for non-infrastructure, non-capital type improvements that you just don't think are so expensive, like wrestling mats and cheer mats, and that's what we used last year's proceeds to go for. And this year's proceeds are gonna go for equipment for tennis and pole vaulting equipment. So that's about, we're hoping to raise 20,000. We'd like to raise more, but those two things will cost about 20,000. So I bought a flyer, and you'll see it on social media. So if anybody's interested, I was going to hand out flyers. Jason kind of knows about it
Yeah.
from the golf team, but so
Won
if
a
you
few races last year, too.
you did, you did,
Yeah, I
you
did
did.
bring-
It actually, it was a lot of fun. So if anybody is interested in coming, my phone number is on here, or you can email the Brandon Athletic Sports Boosters. Their website's on here too. So that's all. So I won't take any more time. I'll just hand out a flyer.
All right,
It
thank you,
was fun.
Jody.
Actually, today, Jody, I had texted Melissa to see when it was so I could mark my calendar.
Oh,
so-
yeah, I should have said that. It's Saturday, March 8th, and it's going to be at the Abraham Ranch, right down
Oh,
the
okay,
road.
so it's close
So
to this year.
it's going to
Awesome.
be, and
Thank you.
it's going to be great.
Yeah,
So
thank
hopefully
you.
we'll see
I look
you
forward to
there.
it.
You're
Yep.
talking real
It was a-
horses?
It was a great time last year. No.
I think the state would have something to say.
It's simulated horse racing,
Yeah,
so we
it
have
was a lot of
it's a
fun.
business out of Ohio that comes up and they have like a speakers and a screen and it's simulated horse racing. And how you make money is we get sponsors for the races and then people buy the horses. Like, and then you name your horse and he plugs it all in a computer program and you cheer your horse on. And 15th Street is catering dinner there. And they were very generous. 15th Street donated all their staff time, so, which is great.
This is kind of cool.
It was
Part-
fun.
Yeah, and so that's how we make money, and it's really a fun evening. And all the sports teams create a raffle basket, make raffle baskets, and then they raffle them off to the night. So it's a fun evening.
It was a great event. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and
That's why I
yep,
texted
so
Melissa today about it.
Yeah, so 6:00 on Saturday, March 8th.
Thanks, Jody.
Yep, thank you guys.
Anyone else? Rick?
Bob, Steve?
Yes, sir.
You guys ought to know better than anybody. How much does it cost for one patrol car? I just seen a show on this the other day. You're talking $100,000 a car,
Yeah.
to outfit a car, then maintenance on that car. So when you go to talk about getting rid of our police, think about the benefit against the cost. I mean, that seems unreal to me. $100 a car, 3 or 4 cars, 300, 400,000.
You don't buy the
Officers,
car. I was a
huh?
vehicle maintenance officer. You lease them. And it doesn't cost that much.
Who maintains them then?
The leasing agency, Wheels, was the ones we used.
If you got a way around it, I'm for it, I guess.
We don't buy them. You don't buy cars.
Anybody else? All right, seeing none. Any additional board comments from the trustees? No? Dana?
I just wanted to say, thank you for, John and his team putting together the float. I had a great time making the float. I had a great time walking in the parade. Thought the Christmas parade had a great turnout. I did go to Christmas in the Village the next day, and that's where I do think that something needs to be, I don't know, maybe parade the same Saturday night instead of Friday night. I'm not sure. It was great. The tree lighting was wonderful though too, so thank you for everything. Hopefully we can figure something out. So it's a great turnout for everybody. So hope everyone had good holidays and a Happy New Year.
Thank you. Rosalind?
No additional, okay.
John, the only thing I'd say about that is give me a little more time to get over the tree lighting. I completely missed that by the time I parked the thing and walked over there.
It was too cold to wait any longer. I was in the crowd
Fair
waiting.
enough.
and-
We knew there was gonna be some sacrificial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right, no worries. I just wanted to say that. Looking for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Steve.
Support.
Thank you, Dana. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.